picking songs for the church can be a great challenge. It also can be super easy. Some people just think, just pick upbeat songs and then sing some hymns every once in a while and you'll be good to go. The reality is, the challenge in the pastoral role for this is something I definitely take seriously. Our whole team does. The end of the day, a gospel song is taking people on the journey of what God has done. The gospel could be summarized into four parts. The first part would be creation. God creates everything, it's perfect. And he even sort of sings over creation, and everything is finished, it's done, he rests. What an incredible thing. So there's creation. The second part of that would be the fall. So God creates everything perfectly. He creates man. A woman comes out of man, and then we have this rebellion that happens where man sins. And there's a curse that's over all of these different elements in Genesis 3. Even the effects of that we still feel to this day, some degree. There's also the third part of the gospel, the redemption part, which is an incredible part. That's where God meets us here on this earth. He sends Jesus as Emmanuel. Jesus lives a perfect life. He dies according to the scriptures. He's buried according to the scriptures. And then he rises up on the third day according to the scriptures. What an incredible thing. That's redemption. That's the part of the gospel. And then there's the fourth part of the gospel, which is restoration and God making all things new and bringing everything back to where there's a new heaven, there's a new earth, and everything is made whole. Jesus is worshiped by all, and he makes all things new. So those four parts: creation, fall, redemption, restoration. When it comes to picking songs, you think, well, how are we going to do that? That's literally everything, Chris. Well, the gospel could be summarized in 1 Corinthians 15, 3-4. I'm going to read it. For I delivered to you as of first importance what I also received, that Jesus died for our sins in accordance with the scriptures, that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day in accordance with the scriptures. So great songs are communicating that reality. They aren't, songs aren't just picked because they're cool. Songs are picked because they have a purpose to them. Now we'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a different video. But the reality is every service should have a gospel song. Every service should have a song that is taking people on the journey of what God has done in Jesus for us, what he has redeemed us from, and then ultimately what his promises are that are perfect and true, where he will restore all things to new condition and make all things whole. Gospel songs are such an incredible thing. There's a couple that come to mind. In Christ Alone is a song. King of Kings is a song that conveys this. What a Beautiful Name conveys that. If you think of How Great Thou Art, it tells the story of this. In fact, hymns do it really well because the verses are usually taking people on the journey of God creating, redeeming, and restoring. Modern songwriters have done a great job of catching up to those older songs and being so much more intentional with why. So remember, be encouraged when we're picking songs. We're not doing it just because they're cool. We're picking it because it's going to point people to Jesus, and Jesus is going to draw men to himself, and he's going to save those people. So that's why we sing gospel songs. That's why we pick songs. That's why we do what we do with a stronger why than what the song is.